I want you to focus on this particular function because you're going to make the same mistake when you will write your smart contract. So this is the function we have in the NFT marketplace smart contract, where we allow user to buy NFT, sell NFT, set an auction, allow the bidding. That's all the function have. So let's try to do the auditing of this particular function. So this is the function we have called settle auction. As the name suggests, like once the bidding will complete, like the user is going to settle the auctions, the higher bidder will get the NFT. Very simple. We have called function settle auction, and we are taking the ID of that particular token. So that's the unique identifier we have for that particular NFT. As soon as we are getting that particular information, then we are checking and finding that particular NFT which is listed for the auction. So in the auctions, we have the list of all the NFT, passing the ID, and it's give us the auction of that particular NFT. Once we have the data, now what we are doing, we are making a couple of check, because before you settle any transaction, you have to check all the states of that particular auction. So first we are checking that whether the auction is active or not, because we don't want to allow the NFT to get sell or buy or perform any transaction those who are not in auction. So that's the one we have checking. If it's true, then we are throwing this error message that auctions not activated for that particular NFT. But if it's there, then it's going to go to the next one. Then we are checking for the time, because every single bidding, every single auction will have a time lock, whether it could be a 1 week, 1 month, but you're going to have a time lock. After that, you go to do the settlement of that particular NFT. So that's what we are doing. We are checking for the time, end time, because we cannot end the auction before the time is getting end. So if it's the time is there, we have to keep it and restrict and throw this error message that auction is still running, because we have to wait for the time to complete. Now here we have the next one. Then we have to check for the settle, because we're going to have a lot of data in the NFT. So if I take you right up here, you will find that this is all the data we're going to have it, like seller, NFT contract, token, start price, reverse price, highest bidding. We have the highest bidder, we have the token, start time, end time, settle, and active. So these are the data we have taken in every single auction which is going to take place. So where I was, I'll simply come back here, and I guess I have a lot of function into this contract. So this is the one. So that's what we are checking. If it's true, then we have to execute. Otherwise, we have to simply throw this error message that it's already settled. So these are the check we are doing. First, we are getting the information and we are making the check. It's absolutely fine. There is no problem in this logic. Now come back to the next one. Here we are checking the reverse mint. So we are checking a couple of condition about the pricing, reverse pricing, because you cannot allow any pricing. You have to reverse certain price which you want to allow or you want to get to sell. So those are the two checks we are getting. Either this could be not zero because we need some amount of money. So that's what we are checking here. This is absolutely fine. It's going to return either true or false, and based on that we can build other logic. So if you come back here, so here we have the if block where we are checking for the highest bidder. We make sure that it should be not a contract, it's our address, and we are doing the check. Here we will find the details about the contract, and here you will find that, because we need to get the commission, the fee in that particular cell. So that's what we have to calculate, and we have to receive that one. So again, this is the same problem we have. This is vulnerable for the exploitation. So if someone will hack your contract, as I told you that some of the function in the contract is not having the modifier, like anybody can come and change the addresses and modify the data. So in that way, what will happen, like if an NFT is, for example, 1 ETH, and if someone is set the price to 1 ETH or like 999%, and that what will happen, the seller who is selling the NFT will get a less fund, and the most of the money will go into the fee. So those are the things we have here. So we are simply doing that one, but the problem is here, like it's vulnerable to reentrancy attack. I don't know how someone can make this kind of mistakes. It's already proven problem we have in the industry at the moment. So what this particular user is doing, we are just checking for the balance, and then it's making the call straight away. So first is going with the fee. Again, here you have to check whether the transaction is successful or failed. If it's true, the transaction is successful, then you have to go to the next stage. Otherwise, you have to throw an error or you have to get out of this function. But that's not what's happening here. If it's failed, it's going to call this function straight away. So there is no check. You can add a if block, or you can take a boolean value and you can check that one. Once the fee is getting transferred, then it's going to the next one where it's calling the NFT seller and making the call. And here it's performing all the trade. But the problem is here, like you are doing the trade, but you are updating the state, and it's vulnerable to reentrancy attack. You cannot do that. You have to simply set it down. If you want, you can simply cut that one and you can place it somewhere else before you publish. Or changing the state after the transaction getting published. The attacker will call the function once again and it's going to be into a loop of reentrancy. Attacker is going to take all the fund, all the NFT and make the call. So this is not how you have to write. This is not how you have to write. Always try to debug, spend some time in the contract, try to understand the logic which you have implemented.